In the remote mountains of eastern Tibet, a quiet storm was forming. In the land of Kham, as Chinese forces tightened their grip, ordinary monks, herders, and families watched their villages fall and decided they would not surrender. From these rugged highlands, an unlikely army began to rise. But how did scattered villagers, with almost no weapons or training, build a resistance strong enough to defy an empire? It began in Kham, fierce, proud, untamed. When Chinese troops pushed deeper into Tibet in the early 1950s, the Khampas were the first to face the pressure and the first to push back. They gathered in secret, at hidden monasteries, in mountain passes, anywhere eyes couldn't follow. They had no commander, no uniforms, just a shared promise: protect their land, their culture, their freedom. With barely any weapons, they turned to what they knew best: the mountains, the valleys, the harsh terrain only Tibetans could master. On horseback, they moved like shadows, planning every strike with precision. Small attacks soon grew larger. Convoys disappeared. Chinese outposts fell silent, and across Tibet, whispers spread. Someone was fighting back. As the danger grew, the resistance moved toward Lhasa, uniting fighters from Kham, Amdo, and Utsang. What began as scattered defiance was becoming a national movement. By 1958, they chose a name that captured the spirit of a united Tibet: Chushi Gangdruk. 4 rivers, 6 ranges. A force formed not for conquest, but for survival. And when the threat to the Dalai Lama became clear, these fighters stood between him and capture, risking everything to protect the heart of their nation. Born in the mountains of Kham, strengthened across Tibet, the resistance was more than an army. It was a heartbeat refusing to fade. In 1959, as Chinese forces closed in on Tibet, one man became the most hunted figure in the Himalayas. The Dalai Lama's capture seemed inevitable, until a secret resistance vowed to stop it, no matter the cost. They were not trained soldiers. They were monks, nomads, farmers, ordinary Tibetans who built an invisible shield around their spiritual leader. But how did this unlikely army manage to outsmart one of the world's most powerful forces? Lhasa trembled under tension. Rumors spread that the Chinese military planned to seize the Dalai Lama. In the rising fear, a spark ignited. The Tibetan resistance, Chushi Gangdruk, rose from the underground, determined to protect him. With scarce weapons and almost no formal training, they prepared for a mission that seemed impossible: carve a safe path through mountains crawling with enemy patrols. On the night of March 17th, the Dalai Lama slipped out of Norbalinka Palace, disguised as a soldier. Only a few loyal fighters knew the truth. Every step he took into the darkness, the resistance scanned the ridges, ready to intercept danger before it could reach him. They guided him through freezing high passes, using their knowledge of the land to avoid Chinese outposts. Whenever patrols drew near, the resistance positioned themselves to draw attention away from the fleeing leader. For 13 days, he traveled through storms, hunger, and constant fear of discovery. And then, on the other side of the mountains, India, safety. As the Dalai Lama crossed the border, the mission was complete. A life and a future saved. the Dalai Lama lives safely in India. But in the quiet winds of the Himalayas, the courage of the Tibetan resistance still echoes. Ordinary people who risked everything so their leader could live. Some journeys change a life. This one saved a. Today, the Dalai Lama lives safely in India. But in the quiet winds of the Himalayas, the courage of the Tibetan resistance still echoes. Some armies fight for power. This one fought for a homeland. Some journeys change a life. This one saved a nation's hope.